And we are back. Hello, crypto miners. Hello, everyone tuning in. We are back with another AMA tonight, and this time it's a rule. Alpha, please mute yourself. Nice music, though. Thanks. And here we have rule up here. I think we have... Who do we have from rule? Let's see.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. Is it
Hi.
Adrian?
Yeah, I thought I was struggling with the headphones. How is the audio quality? Is it good?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear
All
me?
right. Awesome. Yeah, I can hear you. Really stoked to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm
Great.
Adrian, CEO of the Rule Token Project.
Yes, very welcome, Rule Project, and Adrian, CEO. That's good. You are the founder as well?
Yes, I am the founder. I do mostly in the project. I take care of the business side, but I am also a developer, so I'm also a technical person. So during this
Hmm.
call, we can also talk about all the technical details as much as you want.
Okay, let's dig into that too, maybe then. But I like to point out that we give information and education about projects and no financial advice, guys. You should always do your own research, as always. But Adrian, how long have you been into crypto?
Oh, as an investor, I've been into crypto since 2017.
Okay,
As a developer, in the last year, pretty much.
nice.
And my background is in economics. I used to work as a game designer. Then I worked as a game developer. Then I opened my own company, two companies actually, in the traditional game development industry. And I made the jump to the Web3 world in the last year, basically.
All right. So how big is the team behind this project, Rule?
It's really big, and we're going to get into detail about what we're doing later, I guess, and the reason why it's so
Hmm.
unnaturally big, unusually big. So we're making two products connected to the rule token right now. One is a Launchpad, which is a smaller product, and one is a bigger product, which is an MMORPG called Dream Guardians, which is like a proper MMO, really massive. But at the core, it's a creature collection game inspired by Pokemon. And since it's an MMO, that requires a very big team. So basically, the team is split as follows. There is a part that is made of game developers and artists, mostly artists, really, because it's a 3D game that works on Dream Gardens. And there we have two game developers. We have one animator, two character artists, one environment artist, one sound designer, one VFX artist, the whole thing. There's a lot of different roles that are required to develop this kind of game. One art director, one game designer, of course, at the top, and the producer. So that is the game development team. Then there is the team developing Rulepad.io, which is our launchpad, and that's a smaller team. There's just a couple of people. I mean, that also take care of the Web3 part of Dream Guardians, because so to say, the effort that you need in the Web3 is actually a lot smaller than the effort you need to build a good game, you know? And then there is the support team, which we are assembling right now for the operation of Rulepad, which is meant to scout for IDOs and review the applications of IDOs and INOs, and so on. Then, of course, on top of that, we have two marketing agencies that work with us that are also following us in our fair launch on Pink Sale. One more for the social media and the community management side, and the other one for organizing events, AMAs, calls, and so on. So yeah, a lot of people. There's really a lot.
Yeah, I see on the web page lots of people. There are also dogs, right?
Yeah. There's absolutely.
Hmm. That's good. All right. So have you met the team in real life? Do you know each other
We,
from
we
crypto only or from real life?
we know each other from real life. We're all Italian. We're all from Italy. and mostly from the north of Italy. And yeah, we do know each other in real life. We meet 2 or 3 times per year because basically we work remote, but we do know each other in person.
All right. So how come you wanted to start your own project then?
Well, I mean, as I said, I always had a very big interest in the Web3 world and crypto first as an investor. And then I think that the first thing that really drove me, and I hope I will not offend anybody, is that most of the products that were being offered as Web3 games in general, they were quite weak. Uh, on maybe very good on the tokenomics and the Web3 side of things, but very poor in terms of fun, of being fun and good looking games. And so we just and yeah, that's the first thing that really drove me. And I had a lot of discussions with the people in the industry, and I saw that there was a trend shifting away from play to earn towards play and earn. So making games that are actually accessible to everybody, even without having a wallet and engaging on the Web3 side, that are fun to play, that people want to play because they are fun. And then they also have the Web3 component on top, which has to be reasoned. Of course, that has to be planned and designed very well. But it's not the reason why you play the game. You just don't play it to make a living. You play it because it's fun, just like any other game. And that is the thing that really drove me, that got me started in the first half of last year. It's this. Then the other thing is that I scouting, the spaces. I've always been involved in also like kind of risky investments, like very small, low market cap tokens and so on. And I noticed that other than having like a huge amount of meme coins and other things that I'm not really interested in, most of the tokens that I was reviewing as an investor were I basically only had one side of utility. So you had one token that would apply to a launchpad, to a decentralized exchange, to whatever other product, a wallet, a game. There were very, very few that were applying multiple, well, if almost none, they were applying multiple projects to the same token. And that is what we are building with Rule. So these are the first 2 projects. Now the whole team is committed to these 2 projects. We could add more in the future later on once these ones have reached full release and are completely operational. But that was the idea that we wanted to go to with Rule. So yeah, there was a very lengthy reply, sorry, but these are the 2 things.
So what type of game is it that you are developing, and when is it going to launch, you think? When can we use it? Is there already some beta version out there to try, or how does it work?
Okay, so the game is a game, as I said, at the core, it's a creature collection game. So it's called Dream Guardians, and dreams are the creatures. It takes place in an onirical world where the emotions of humans take form as these creatures. I don't want to explain the whole setting because that would be quite lengthy. But graphically, it's kind of reminiscent of game like Genshin Impact. I don't know if you ever played it. This type of games. So it's third-person WSD controls, open world. So you have a very big map and free roaming. So you can climb, jump, fly, and move freely around the map, which is different from what the Pokemon games offer. But the combat and what you do is catching creatures, leveling up the creatures, and having them fight or carry out tasks for you. So it's you could say it's a Pokemon MMO RPG in a way, with open world and free roaming. So that's a lot. It's like a mix of 2 genres. There was nothing like that just not in the Web3 space, just in the regular game development space. There was nothing like that. And so we decided, okay, we go there. Also because the last Pokemon game wasn't really great, in my opinion, and in many people's opinion. So we were like, okay, there's a big untapped potential there where we can get into. And
so your inspiration was from Pokemon game, but you also like make it even better, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I think, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say better. We make it a proper MMORPG.
Different.
Yeah, different, exactly. So, and we're working with 2 game engines, Unity for the front end and Coherence.io for the back end. It's a new backend engine that does hosting, middleware, and a lot of stuff, and allows you to build big mass scale MMORPGs very easily. So that's we're also being helped in our job by new tech that has come out last year, basically, that it speeds up the work a lot. The game is not playable yet. We do have some screenshots. If you go on our white paper or our Telegram channel, you will see several screenshots. We want to get a first alpha version playable with a decent amount of polish in the second half of this year. Then we want to get into beta next year and probably reach full release by the end of 2024, which is, I know many people listening will be like, okay, that's a very long time. Yes, making MMORPGs requires a very long time. But the game will be like already fun and exploiting its Web3 potential in the alpha version already. So in the second half of this year. So if you're concerned about, say, buy pressure and having utility for the rule token, that is going to happen much sooner than full release of the game. That's going to be already live in the second half of this year.
Okay. And speaking of the rule token, I know that you haven't launched yet, but you have an ongoing fair launch at Pink Sale right now, right?
We do, yes, we do have it. It's going to be over in exactly 24 hours.
Okay.
So yeah, we just
24 hours time to check out the project even more, do your own research, and then if you want to, you can participate in the pre-sale then. No, fair launch, I mean.
Fair launch, yes. The link is rule-token.com, or if you want to check out the launchpad is rulepad.io. But if you just open Pink Sale and it's on the project, you will see our project is trending. So yeah, it's there. It's there for you to see. And I invite everybody to dig into the white paper. So if you want to see images of the game, you will find them there. If you want to try out the launchpad is already operational. Of course, you cannot stake yet or do all the things that you're meant to do there because the token hasn't been really distributed yet, but the tech is there, like the website and all is there.
So in the wait for the game to come out, then maybe later this year, in the alpha version anyway, people can use the launchpad and stake their tokens if they buy rule tokens.
Yes, correct. We have a pretty detailed, like a multi-step plan to sustain the value of the token even before the game is out, because the game is objectively the biggest thing. But Rulepad is not a small thing, and also in the effort we are putting into it. So the way this is going to work, once we distribute the token, which is most likely going to be next Monday, so a couple of days after the end of the sale, because we want to prepare more marketing and more promotion, and launching in the weekend is not a great idea. So Monday or Tuesday next week. After that, investors will be able to go on rulepad.io/stake. They will find their staking pool that's called Super Launch Pool. That is only available for 1 month since the launch of the token. And it offers a pretty insane APY, 200%. It runs for 3 months, so it's open for 1 month. Then it requires 3 more months to reach maturity and to be able to unstake and get rewards. And it's as I said, it has a very, very big APY. The normal APY for staking is going to be around 2 to 15%, 20% for 1 year normally, and instead this APY this pool has 200%. And of course, the reason is we want to incentivize all the early investors to stake as an anti-dump mechanism. Once the waiting for the launchpad to reach full regime, because once we start offering IDOs, of course, there is going to be a lot of buy pressure on the token, because people need to stake it to get a better allocation or just to get an allocation at all. If you go on rulepad.io/tiers, you will see that you have 3 lower tiers with lottery allocation and 3 higher tiers with a guaranteed allocation. And you have to stake your rule tokens to get there. So once we're offering IDOs and INOs, there's going to be a lot of buy pressure from that. before that, and that could take a couple of weeks though, right? Because we have to review projects. We actually received already one application, which is kind of funny. But yeah, we of course it's going to take a bit, and so there is this big, very juicy pool to attract staking.
All right. So one question that comes to mind when it is about these launch pads, because there are so many launch pads coming out, and there are already a few out there. How are you gonna compete with those already out there, and how are you gonna get users and people who wants to launch their tokens with Rule Launchpad instead of others?
I would say two ways. First of all, if you look at most of the launchpads that are out there, aside from a few like well-known ones, they are kind of dead. Right? I mean, they most of the launchpads there, even some that were relatively popular during the last bull market in 2021, they have not survived the bear market. They've been abandoned. So there's a few big ones left, a couple of Binance Smart Chain, a couple of Solana, and so on. But most are dead. And so there is definitely the potential to get a new one in. We're going to tap multiple chains. So we are going to offer IDOs on Ethereum layer twos, which don't have much now in terms of launchpads, and EVM compatible chains. So it's the whole, say, Ethereum and Ethereum related world. So yeah, with Ethereum layer twos in particular, there is a big potential. Aside from that, of course, entering our launchpad right now is extremely cheap since it's new one, and the token has a very low, even at launch, is going to have a very low market cap. So if you want to get, during a bull run, that in the big launchpads, the maximum allocation, I remember it used to require something like $10,000, $20,000 sometimes, or even more. And our launchpad getting in right now is extremely cheap. And the other thing is so that's an incentive already. You can get the maximum allocation very easily, and once you have it, you're going to have it forever. It's not like it's going to be taken away from you if we change the numbers. Once you have it, you have it. So that's a big incentive. And then, of course, it's a matter of effort by the team, scouting for projects, talking with people, and promoting the launchpad. It's just that there is room for launchpads. There is still room for launchpads. It's just that many don't really put much effort, or they just launch, do a couple of IDOs, get the token up, dump, disappear, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, the reason to choose a certain launchpad must also be maybe not just the cost or anything, but also the traction. How big is the community around this launchpad? I mean, they want to, if I launch a token, I want lots of people to buy it, right? So lots of people need to be in the community. How are you gonna make your community bigger with real people and investors who wants to like check out new projects that you bring out then on your launchpad?
Yeah, so two ways I would say. One is a more structural way, I would say. Since we offer multiple projects, these related to the rule token, these projects feed into one another. So if people are interested in the game, in the MMO, they will also be directed and pushed towards the launchpad. If people are interested in the launchpad, they will be pushed and directed towards the game, because the first step in both cases, in everything with our ecosystem, as we call it, is staking. So everything starts with staking. You stake rule, you get S rule, and that gives you allocation. That gives you the possibility to buy NFTs. That's another thing we can discuss later, maybe. That gives you rewards in the game and governance power on the launchpad and in the decisions of the game. So there's these different projects feeding to one another, and there is no one else that is doing it right now. Pushing one community on one side and then pushing it on the other side too. So there is that, which we think is going to be really effective. The other is that we are going to keep working with our agencies and doing a lot of promotional activities. And I know, yeah, everybody says that. I know. I mean, I hope people believe it that we are actually going to do it.
So are you focusing mostly then, or first at the Italian market? Like, are you going to spread the words there, or?
Oh, no, no, no. It's absolutely international. No, the fact we are based in Italy is just that, yeah, we are Italians. I'm Italian, but no, it's everything is in English. It's
Everywhere.
absolutely international. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It wouldn't make any sense to have something Italian only.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, maybe you have like, if you are there physically, maybe you have some meetings or, I mean, clubs or yeah, that people can come
Yeah,
together
I do.
also.
I do, yes, but the game development, the Web3 industry is pretty small. I would say that most of my, let's say, contact in the Web3 crypto industry are abroad, in Asia mostly. I would say some in the States, a lot in South Korea. I used to live in South Korea too. So yeah, it's my crypto connections are not so much in Italy really.
Yeah, okay, okay. So tell me about the name Rule. Why have you chosen this name? Is there a story behind that?
Honestly, there isn't much of a story. I would say no. We were just looking for, I will be very honest, we were looking for a sort of a catchy name that was not taken yet because most of the names are taken, right? So there's every short English word that it sounds nice has a token for it. Rule, I mean, we had this image of achieving success. Yeah, I would say convey a message of success. And we had different names in mind. We kept looking for something that wasn't yet used. We already had the idea of using the crown as logo and kings and using all this imagery, sort of medieval like imagery. Also because, by the way, the setting of the game is medieval-ish. I mean, it's a fantasy setting, but it's knights and kings and armor and that type of stuff, right? It's medieval-ish. So we were like, yeah, then what does the king do? Rule fits, used, no,
Yeah.
it's not used, then it's rule.
All right. Yeah, yeah. Good answer. So how are you gonna, I mean, to develop a game, it's pretty costly if you want to do a really good game as you want to. Uh, and you have to like compete with others about the game developers, etc., etc. So how are you funding the game developing side?
Well, first of all, I mean, the way we have been finding it so far is through our traditional game development efforts. So we had, say, independent financing. Um, Other than that, the of course the whole rule token itself is going to finance the development of the project. This is one of the reasons why the token has taxes, which is kind of uncommon for this type of for a token like the one we are making, which is not a meme coin or anything, but it does have 3% buy and 6% sell tax. We want to try to push as much, push it as much as possible at launch and after that. So we do get 2/3 basically of these taxes. 1/3 goes into the liquidity pool on PancakeSwap, but 2/3 goes to our treasury to finance the development of the project. We will absolutely do anything not to sell our tokens to finance. Let alone the fact that we technically can't do it because we have the SAFU badge on PinkSale, which means that all the tokens that are not going to the liquidity pool or to investors are locked for 1 month. So we literally can't get any of those for 1 month at least. Then there's going to be vesting, so we get a certain percentage, and then some more at the end of each month.
So
But
first locked and then vested after that.
source locked and then vested, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
in
which is kind of
how long
common.
time will it take for everyone to get their tokens then? All of the tokens.
Oh, 1 year, more or less.
Okay.
Mm. Yeah, it's a relatively quick vesting, but it's already it's kind of uncommon anyway for pink sale projects. I don't think I've ever seen a project offered on pink sale that has vesting. And I've seen many, but I think we are the only ones.
Okay. I don't really know, so I can't tell anything about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
there are so many projects launching there, so can't keep track of everyone.
Oh yeah, there
Uh,
must be some. There must be some, but I haven't seen it yet.
yeah. So since you said also the game is the big thing in your project, right? So everyone will be waiting for the game. So how can people play it? I think you mentioned a little bit earlier that you can play it without connecting your wallet. It's going to be a game for everyone. Is it going to be like on the phones or on the computer, or where can I play
We,
this game?
yeah, we're building it multi-platform. So it's for mobile and PC. We are going to start with the PC version, also because we have a background in PC games. So that's the thing we're most comfortable with. Both the front end and the back end engine can be used to build multi-platform games. So and the UI and everything, all that we are doing, we are keeping in mind that we are also going to release a mobile version for it. But first, it's going to be the PC version. It's going to be a free to play. So you just can go download for free and play. It will not be available on Steam because Steam doesn't like anything that has Web3 or crypto in it. So you will have to go on our website and download the client and play. And eventually, not long, probably sometime during the beta phase, because the alpha is going to be on PC, and during the beta, we're going to get out the iOS and Android versions. And yeah, you will not need a wallet.
Mm-hmm. And then after, if you play it and you like it, you will collect items and things or something, and then you can maybe transform them into the rule token then later on if you
Yeah,
want. Or
yeah. I mean, there is a possibility to exchange the rule token for in-game currency and vice versa. No, sorry,
so is it a
totally
play to
wrong.
earn game? Is it going to be a play to
Um,
earn game?
okay, so well, one thing that I didn't mention, I just said something completely wrong. I don't know why. There are two tokens in the game. One is the rule token, and the rule token is the governance token and gives utility if you stake, and is also required to breed creatures, Pokemon style. Then there is a second token that is, and we haven't launched it yet. That is going to be the gameplay reward token of the game. If you played Axie Infinity, you kind of know how it works, right? There is AXS, there is SLP. It's going to be something like that. But that is a pure play to earn game where you have to pay to enter. Here you can enter at the lowest tier without controlling any creature, without anything, and play for free. If you want, you can anytime go on a market and purchase one of the dreams as an NFT and get it into the game, connect it into the game as an actual creature in the game, and vice versa. If you get it into the game, you can mint it into an NFT and sell it. So this is one of the this is one of the things you can do. And the other one is, as I said, you get reward in a different token, which is not the rule token. It's a more dangerous token, so to say, more volatile token because it's given out as reward and it's consumed to do some activities. While the rule token is more protected, tokenomics wise, because it's never given out in the game as a reward. The only way you can get more is either buying it or staking it as staking a reward.
I see. So you're going to have two different then.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of games I think have that kind of
Setup.
solution.
It's a thing.
Mm-hmm. So are you going to partner up with some other games or some other? Do you have any good partners coming up?
Right now, we are developing everything in-house, bar a couple of companies that we are using for outsourcing, but that's just in the game development side. Of course, we will be looking for partnership in the Web3 world over time. Yeah, for sure. Right now, we have really focused on the development of the game in between us, so we haven't really been looking for that. Also, because we have in-house the competence to deliver that. But over time, of course, we will do partnerships both for the Launchpad and for the game.
And do you have a big marketing budget? Because I think, you have to be seen to. I mean, you can develop a really good game. You can have good tokenomics and everything and an ecosystem. But if people doesn't know about it, how will you get it out there to maybe people outside of crypto also?
Yeah, we do have a sizable marketing budget. I wouldn't say that we have like the biggest marketing budget in the world, obviously, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't even do a sale of the project. We would just do whatever. But the thing is, when you make a game like this, it's the power of word of mouth. If it's a good game, it works, particularly in the PC world and particularly in the MMO space. The MMO space, it's made of very few big games. There's not many MMOs that come out each year, like particularly made in the West. You could really list them in one hand or two, the fingers of one or two hands, or maybe just one hand. So there is a lot of room and there is a lot of visibility if you launch an MMORPG. And that is absolutely, that's a lot of exposure that doesn't require a massive marketing budget. I mean, we do have experience in doing something like that already. And yeah, so there is that. Then, of course, we do have a marketing budget, and the part of the revenues from the taxes and from the token in general are going to be spent on marketing, of course. That's according to our needs.
Is there a buy and sell tax of the token?
Yeah, also that, yes.
Okay, and that goes maybe also a little bit to the marketing. But how are you? I mean, the Launchpad. Let's go back to the Launchpad a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you already have some projects lined up, ready to launch on your Launchpad?
You mean like IDOs?
Yeah.
Ready to go? Not yet. We, as I think I mentioned it before, we received the first application that we are reviewing. The Launchpad literally just came out. We put it public during the sale, so just a couple of days ago. So obviously that's still a bit early to have them, even though surprisingly we did receive one application already. And I would expect that we start offering the first IDOs, INOs next month.
So why are you not launching on your own Launchpad?
Oh, because the Launchpad didn't have a big community yet. Like we wanted to enter into the pink sale world because of a big pink sale crowd of investors. If we ever launch another project of our own, which is not the Rule token, and I would say that it's kind of unlikely because, as I say, we want to pool all our efforts into Rule and connect everything to Rule. But if we ever need to launch another project, there is a separate token that will, like the token of like the gameplay token of Dream Guardians. Of course, we're going to put it on our own Launchpad. And the other things that is going to be on our own Launchpad is our NFT sale. That is going to be, by the way, I totally forgot to mention it when you asked me before about financing the project. One of the big events coming for our project in the next few months is going to be the launch of the original Dreams, which is a set of creatures that are only minted once and are exclusive. Basically a set of 10,000 exclusive creatures that you will not be able to find in the game. You will only be able to get them as NFTs and then get them into the game this way. You are going to have to stake Rule in order to be able to buy, and they will be offered on our own Launchpad. So that is going to be.
So you're going to launch your own NFTs that can be used for the game, you mean?
Yes, we're going to do that pretty soon. Maybe not in May yet. Could be June, July, something like that. It depends also on the market condition and so on. But when there is a good moment, yes, we have them. We have them ready. If you go on the white paper, if anybody wants to check out some images of the creatures, you can go on the white paper.
Very good. All right. Should we take some questions, do you think, from the audience? I see some hands up here already. People are eager to ask you.
Yeah, shoot.
Is there something else that you want us to go through before, maybe? I had a question about referrals. Can you refer your friends to the game, and will that benefit you somehow?
Yeah, I mean, right now the referral that we have is on Pink Sale. So 5% of the raise goes to referrals. So if you go on Pink Sale and you want to promote the project, you just you go on the page, you connect your wallet, and then you have a referral link through Pink Sale. We are going to absolutely implement a referral system of our own yet. In the future, we haven't worked on it yet, really, to be honest, but there is absolutely going to be, it's kind of a cornerstone of any project of this kind.
That's good.
And by the way, you asked me if I want to talk about something. There is just one little thing, maybe just a very quick note on tokenomics. It's to reassure people. We are offering right now 40% of the total supply of the token on Pink Sale, which is really a lot. And then on top of that, there is like 22% that is going into the liquidity pool that is locked for 1 year. All the 1/3 of the taxes that I mentioned before that go in the liquidity pool automatically, they are assigned to as owner to the dead address. So it's not one of our addresses, so they are locked forever. These are all things. If you know how to read smart contracts, you can go into smart contract and check that out. And when it comes to the rest, which is about 35, there's about 40% of the token supply, which is our own, which is split into centralized exchange listing, marketing, treasury, and all, and then staking rewards is vested and unlocks in 1 month. So yeah, I just wanted to make a quick overview on the supply distribution, which is I guess interesting for many people.
Very good. All right, I think we have. I'm not sure it's Mr. Musk, but we have Elon up here.
Wow, I suppose him. I will be rich right now.
Yeah, good day.
Hi,
Thank
Elon,
you.
what's your question?
Yeah, I read that Rule token provides a liquid staking program, whereby users will be able to stake their Rule token and in turn get rewarded with S Rule token. I don't know. What is the minimum amount of this Rule token I can stake at a time? Also, what is the lockup period before I can reward this S Rule token? Can I swap this S Rule token to other tokens?
Yeah. Okay. So right now you just have one pool that gives you 1-to-1 ratio of Rule to S Rule, and I mentioned it before. This is the pool with crazy high APY that is offered to early investors. After that, there are going to be multiple pools starting from 30 days and going up to 1 year, and the ratio of the pool. If you pick 1 year, it's a 1-to-1 ratio from the Rule to S Rule. If you take the other pools, which have a shorter lockup time, then the ratio is not 1-to-1. It's less, of course. And the APYs there are going to be very low compared to this crazy pool. It's going to go from 5% in the smallest pool to 20% in the longest pool, 1 year. And yeah, that is how it's going to work. And if you go on the tiers page, you can see how much staked Rule you need to get each allocation tier. Keep in mind that all the numbers that you see now are kind of temporary, in that we have to see exactly what is going to be the market cap of the token after launch when the staking is activated and the first IDO is offered, and we're going to probably tweak these numbers according to the market cap.
Great, thank you, Elon.
Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Mary. Thank you.
Thanks to you for asking.
We have Josh up next, and then we have Matt. Josh, go ahead.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Yeah, thank you, Mary, for the opportunity to ask my question. So, my question goes thus. I want to ask about your liquid staking and your tax, and then, okay. So let me start with the liquid staking. I want to know if it would be possible to, after we have staked our token on your platform, I want to know if it would be possible to unstake it later on, maybe in case of emergency or something of such. Can we unstake what we have staked on your platform? And secondly, I want to know how convenient is your tax? What is your tax on buying and selling on your platform?
Okay, so if I got the first question right, well, I already spoke about how staking works. If you were asking about emergency withdrawals of in staked pools, that is not possible. That it's in general, like this type of pools, anywhere you find them. Once you lock in the token, it's locked until the pool reaches maturity, and then everybody can unstake. So this is how it works. It's kind of a standard thing. And replying to the other question about the tax, I assume that you asked, it's about PancakeSwap, not about Binance. That's because the token is as long as the token has taxes, it's on the centralized exchanges. Once it goes into centralized exchanges, it will not have taxes anymore. We can change the tax, lower it to 0. We can actually disable the tax. There's a command to disable the tax. By the way, if you read our smart contract, once we disable the trading tax cannot be re-enabled again. So there is this feature in the smart contract to add more safety to investors, to not have them afraid that we are all of a sudden going to re-enable the tax. Once it's disabled forever. And it's 3% on buys and 6% on sales. That's what we have right now.
Yeah, all right, thank you for the response. I understand it now. So sorry, I want to ask one more question about your governance token. To have access to voting or to governance on your platform, do we need to hold a particular amount of SRU, or just any amount we hold and we have access to governance?
Yeah, any amount. It's just that your voting power is proportional to the amount of SRU that you have.
All right, good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you.
Thank you, Josh. All right, Matt, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hi, guys. Thanks for bringing me up. I have a few questions as well. So, starting with the Launchpad, can you give us a little bit more details where you're going to be vetting projects? Can you talk us through what it is exactly that your team are going to be looking at to vet the projects, in terms of all the criteria to go through?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go on our application page, Rulepad.io/apply, so it's already there, you can apply already. You can see that we're asking a lot of questions, very, very detailed, and that's just the beginning, just the first screening. What we're looking into is going to be the team, past experience, who they are, and so on. We only accept doxed teams. We don't accept anonymous applications. So we want to be dealing with people we know or companies. So there's that. There is the tokenomics, of course. And if the token already had pre-sales, when, how much, for what price, if the token is doing other offers on other launchpads, which is kind of common, right? Usually these projects do offers on maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, or even more launchpads at the same time when they do their launch campaign. Where are they doing it? For how many tokens? For what price? And so on. So and then of course there is the quality of the project itself, the utility of the project itself. That is a bit more, arbitrary, judging a project that way. While judging tokenomics and people is a lot less arbitrary. It's a more objective things to do. And the aim is to not only offer projects that have a good utility and have a good idea behind, but also not to never offer projects where there has been a previous sale at a very low price, much lower than the price that they want to offer the token at now. There is unlocking at very quickly or very early, and that is going to cause the price of the token to dump. There's an experience you can actually find even in the big portals, in the big launchpads. Sometimes you invest in tokens where they had a pre-sale in another launchpad, very early pre-sale, 6 months before, 1 year before, for like a fraction of the price that the token is being offered now. And then what happens when they list? Of course, the token goes boom. It dumps insanely, obviously, right? Because everybody who invested before is going to get there to make a profit. And that is the thing we absolutely want to avoid in the projects we're going to accept.
Yeah, no, that's great. That sounds pretty thorough. That you've got it covered there. Bringing into your Launchpad, will you look at maybe expanding and offering your own sort of audits and token lockers and that to projects, as you'll be vetting them anyway? Yeah,
we will. It's one of the functionalities that we have planned for the Launchpad. It's a locking functionality, and with vesting and so on, similarly to what Pink Sale offers. Absolutely.
Yep. And just so projects and whole potential investors know, when a project launch or applies for your Launchpad, are you going to be taking a fee in a percentage of their tokens, or are they paying you just a flat, either BNB, USDT, or whatever?
The latter. We take a payment in USD, basically, whatever the chain is in USD.
Yeah. Okay.
And
That's
it's going to be a relatively small percentage of the raise, something around 5% probably. We haven't really decided yet, but it's something around that.
Yeah. Oh no, that's fine. But the main thing is you're not going to be taking the fee in that project's token. So
no, we don't.
Yeah. Excellent. And sorry, am I right just to ask one more quickly, Mary?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Cool. So just moving on to the game side of things. Obviously, like you said, an MMO is a massive scale to do. And to get players interested in MMO, it's going to need its own style. And looking at the screenshots, I know now is probably very much placeholder phase at the minute. But it seems at the minute the screenshots are quite pre-done assets, which is fine for like prototyping and that. But are you going to be doing your own everything, your own 3D models and that from scratch, or are you going to be relying on asset pack?
No. It's so right now what you see in the screenshots, the creatures and all. Actually, the character that you see is a placeholder, but you just reminded me something. I'm going to upload the models of our actual game character in the white paper. You just reminded me that after the call I'm going to upload it so you can see how the actual game character looks like. The creatures that you see are made by our 3D artist. Part of the environment is part of an asset pack, and another part that we did. Eventually, we're going to phase out all the assets and do everything either done in-house or outsourced. But mostly, we don't outsource 3D. We do everything in-house. And we are also building our tools for procedural generation, because the base of the world before the level designers start doing the manual work is procedurally generated, because it's a very big world. And of course, if you do like 20 square kilometers, there have to be like 100 level designers doing stuff. That's impossible. So there is a base of procedural generation to the world, and then it's going to be touched by hand by our level designer. And we're also developing tools to do all of these parts of world building quickly, which is really a big thing that often gamers don't really think about it. But as a developer, you really think about it. We are using tools like Houdini. I don't know if you know it. It's a tool that you use to make.
Very powerful.
Yes. We use it to create terrains and to create the map or pieces of the map procedurally, and then we created an editor within Unity to be able to snap all these pieces procedurally generated on Houdini within the procedural generation system in Unity. It's quite a complicated thing to explain, but yeah, it speeds up the work a lot. And we spent a lot of time working on that stuff.
Yeah, no, I get the sort of modular process of that. That sounds really good for scaling up the development on there. And sorry, with you mentioned obviously trying to tie the Launchpad and the game together. Are you going to be doing anything in terms of in the game? I don't know, like some quests or goals would reward maybe like an NFT, which gives you access to the higher tiers on the Launchpad or something like that?
Honestly, we haven't really thought about it, but that's not a bad idea at all. Maybe not maybe not the tiers in the Launchpad. Because it should be related to staking anyway, but having NFTs, well, I mean, other than the fact that I mentioned before that we're going to offer our sale of NFTs for the game on our Launchpad, we didn't really think much about like giving rewards in the game related to the Launchpad, but it's definitely something that we could explore. Maybe not with the access, but with some other perks.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fantastic. And sorry, this is my final question. With your MMO, is it PvE or PvP? How's the sort of missions and combat working? Can you play solo, or is it versus player only?
Well, so you have to play online because it's an MMO, right? So that's the mandatory internet connection, of course. It's the combat is turn-based because it's a creature collection game. Combat is inspired by Pokemon, and you can do PvP. PvP is really central in the experience, of course, battling other guardians. That's the name of the trainers or catchers of the game. And even though PvP is really important, it's not mandatory at all, and it's absolutely consensual. We're not talking about a game where you can just go attack somebody, kill him, loot him. We're not doing that type of hardcore MMORPG at all. It's all consensual PvP if you accept. Well, there are more structured events, competitive events, and then there is the free PvP that you can do on the map against anybody who accepts it, but the other person has to accept it. It's not. You cannot force it on someone else.
Yeah, but is there an option for versus environment if you don't want to go PvP?
Well, of course. I mean, battling your creatures with other creatures is like the way you level up your creatures and all. That's the Pokemon thing is there. Absolutely, PvE plays a big part. The story doesn't really play a big part as in Pokemon because it's the game has more survival-ish aspects to it. But if I start explaining those, it's going to take forever. But yeah, creature battling in general with against NPCs, it's key, of course. And wild creatures and creatures controlled by NPCs.
No, that's brilliant. Thanks very much for all the answers. Thanks a lot.
Thanks to you. Very nice questions.
Thank you, Matt. I think we have one more up here, and that's Julian. What is your question, Julian?
Okay. Good day, and thank you for bringing me on. My question is this. I want to ask, are there any risks associated with liquid staking? And also, how does Root Token ensure security of its liquid staking? Thank you.
Well, I mean, all the contracts that we developed, even though we have in-house developers, the contract that we put on PingSale is developed by a PingSale partner, and it's audited. So it's SAFO, it's audited, it's the whole thing basically as much as possible. And we are going to have an audit on the whole of our project once the Launchpad is live. That doesn't extend only to the rule token itself, but also to the pools and everywhere there is a smart contract, there is that. Also, in general, we take a lot of care to Web 2 security as well. That's something that is often kind of overlooked. I mean, even by investors, like people just care about, oh, there is an audit and the smart contract is safe, cool. But are the servers of the game safe? Is the connection, the way the client speaks to the server safe, and so on and so on and so on. And that applies to the website, of course, and everything. We put a lot of care into that too, in terms of having the best encryption, following all the state-of-the-art practices to securing servers, working with providers that provide anti-DDoS services, and so on and so on. So yeah, it's I mean, if I have to really reply in detail to this question, it's going to be very long and very technical. But yeah, I can tell you that we follow, say, best practices both for Web 2 and Web 3.
Great. Thank you, Julian.
Yeah. Thank you for that very wonderful answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Sunrise, you're up. Or 137, I think you changed your name.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me opportunity. Can I ask my question?
Yeah.
Okay, my question is, please, can we as token holders participate in the governance of the Rule Tokens project? And what mechanism have you implemented to make sure the fairness of decision making between small and big investors?
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I mean, there is a very difficult question. Actually, it's I think there is no real solution. I mean, there is you have to take a decision when you make this kind of system, and every decision that you take when you're making a governance system has pros and cons. Limitations like making a non-linear proportion between tokens held and voting rights doesn't really work, because you can just spread your token onto multiple wallets, and then boom, you just got more power, more decisional power. So the way we're doing it is, other than, of course, vetting the proposals and that are being asked, and having a certain thresholds of votes that are required for a certain proposal to pass, disregarding of how it goes. If it's a yes or a no, in any way it has to receive a minimum amount of votes. So it has to be just like when you do a referendum in an actual country in the world. There is always a threshold of participation that has to be there, and we want to do that. And I think that is the biggest mechanism to avoid that just a decision passes in a sneaky way, just maybe important but ignored, and not many people care about it. You have some whales, the whales vote, and they just make it pass. So there is a participation threshold, and of course, actual promotion from our side of all these decisions to the community. We're going to push it as much as possible so that people see it and people take part and people participate, not to leave only a few very interested actors deciding things alone. Also consider that governance anyway doesn't extend to something like in partnership opportunities, investment opportunities, and so on. It doesn't involve things like, oh, we want to shut down the game. Of course, there are some pillars of the project, like the Launchpad, like and the way it works in general, like the game, the basis of the pillars of the design of the game. These things are set in stone, subject to feedback of the players and so on, of course. But there are some things where we retain decisional power as developers, and I think this is better for both for the community and for the health of the project in general.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. But if you guys don't mind, I ask one more question. Can I ask?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my question is, what strategy will you implement to bring non-crypto natives into your ecosystem? How do you keep a balance between developing the technology and also improving the value of your token?
Yeah, as I said, other than keep working with doing this kind of promotional activities like the one I'm doing now, for example, I want to, we want to, that there is a positive feedback loop between the products that we are developing that are all connected to Rule, and we will continue all the activities that we've been doing now during Pixel. We're going to continue all the activities all the time, permanently. Like, we are not going to stop. If there's any say moments in the development of the project where there is no big news on the technical or development side, and that happens, right? I mean, you launch the Launchpad, maybe there isn't an IDO for a bit of time, there isn't a big update on the development of the game. We will do other activities, competitions, AMAs, give out rewards for whatever. We are going to do activities to always keep the community engaged and push word of mouth also as much as possible, because there is actually the community then at some point becomes your biggest asset. If the community is happy about what you're doing and feels that you listen to them and feels rewarded and likes the direction, and they see the amount of work and passion that you put in the development of the project, then they will also get more investors involved.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Sunrise, for those questions. Thank you, everyone, for coming on and asking questions. I know that lots of you still have questions, but time flies, you know, guys. So I will ask you to head over to their socials, maybe Telegram. Is that the best, Adrian, to find answers?
Yeah, we have two. Yeah, we have two channels. We have one group and one channel. So if you go on our website, Pixel, that is going to link to our group. But if you look at group connected channels, then you see the channel. The channel is for announcements. So keep it unmuted. Keep an eye on it, because we keep posting updates and details about the project. If you want questions, the group is where you want to be. If you have a question that the moderator cannot answer or anything, you just write me a PM. You see me in the list of admins. It's Adrian. Write me a PM. I will reply to you most likely with a vocal message because I like to talk. I don't like to type that much. And I'm going to have a conversation with you personally. Not a problem.
Great. Thank you. So I want to give you some time to have a closing statement and maybe mention something that you think that we should know that we forgot. Maybe have some secrets, news coming up that you want to reveal for us here at Crypto Miners or something. So go ahead,
not so much.
Adrian. It was fun having you on here. So.
Yeah, well, it was really fun. I enjoyed your questions a lot. I appreciated that you asked me these difficult questions, and the people as well. That's what I want to like. I think that what I want to I'm going to make a very controversial statement, or maybe it's something that people already know. The reason why I want this difficult question asked to me, and the reason why I want this, I love the AMA format and the question of people and so on, is that a good 99% of the projects that you find on Pinksale is a scam. There, I said it. That's it. Or maybe there are some legit meme coins, and most of the projects that are not meme coins that do new AI project. Yeah, sure. That's you need dozens of engineers to make an AI of any kind, and you're obviously not making an AI. So this is the type of project you find a lot offered right now because of buzzwords and so on, like AI, and then everybody creates a project that says AI to lure investors in, and they are all scams. And I am struggling to convey that we are different, and there is a lot of passion. I mean, I hope that I'm able to. Some people say that I'm able to communicate the passion in the way I talk about the game and the way I talk about the projects, which I really hope is true. And I hope that with this type of AMA helps people see the efforts that we're putting into this project is that, and that we are not going to disappear. We're not going anywhere. We are going to stay, and disregarding what is the market cap at launch. If it's lower, more opportunities for growth of for people. If it's higher, more stable. Disregarding what happens, this is a project with long-term plans, long-term perspectives, and a big team that is going to support it for a very long time.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much, Adrian, for coming and telling us about your project. And yeah, do your own research, guys, and head out to Pinksale if you want to participate in the fair launch that's ongoing at the moment. All right. Thank you so much for coming, Adrian. And I wish you the best of luck with the project and the launch. When is the launch going to be?
Oh, the sale ends in 24 hours from now, 23 now, actually. And the launch is going to be either Monday or Tuesday. The weekend is not a good moment to launch, so there's going to be something like that. At worst, Wednesday, but I don't think it's going to be Wednesday. More likely Monday or Tuesday. But you just follow the announcement channel on Telegram, you will know.
Yeah, stay tuned, guys, if you want to know. And yeah, check out the project and maybe follow Rule, which I just did. You follow me, follow Crypto Miners, follow everyone, follow each other. So yeah, thank you, and I wish everyone a great evening. And yes, I forgot to ask you, Adrian, but you're Italian. I'm not sure I dare ask you, but do you like pineapple on your pizza or not?
I will be, and I will make another controversial statement. Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Yeah, why not? Why not?
You're the third Italian we had here who says yes to this.
In Italy, the pizza with pineapple is called Hawaii pizza. That's usually the name. I don't know why, but somehow it's called Hawaii pizza, and it's a thing. It exists. Like, I don't know, if you go to a gourmet restaurant, hell no. If you go in a gourmet restaurant or something like that, hell no, you're not going to find it. If you go in a normal restaurant, you will sometimes find it. Not as much as you used to. It's more like an 80s thing, that Italian cuisine in the 80s had some dishes that are not really popular anymore. And pineapple pizzas is definitely an 80s, early 90s vibe thing.
Really?
But it's not bad. Like you can find it. You can find pizza also with other sweet things in Italy. So yeah,
So what's
pineapple
your
could be
favorite
one.
topping on the pizza then?
My topping on pizza, I put a lot of stuff on the pizza. There's really a lot.
Okay.
I would say that in general, I like spicy. So one of the things that I usually buy pretty frequently is like it would be called Mexican pizza because we have to name things randomly like that. They would have mozzarella, tomato, bell peppers, caramelized onions, or anyway cooked onions.
Chili.
And a spicy sauce, chili, or another kind of type of chili that we make in the south of Italy, and beans, stuff like that. That's usually taken pretty often. Yeah, it's not a light pizza. It's not a light pizza.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Well, thank you for your pizza knowledge, and you're the third Italian we have here on Crypto Miners that actually eats pizza with pineapple. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't eat it, but I don't hate it. That's
That's fine. All right. Well, I wish you happy days over at Italy. Ciao, ciao for now. And hope to see you back again, maybe for an update later on.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to.